Now, where the family of 18-year-old Nolan Wells is looking for answers after he and some friends went to a party on an island off the coast this 4th of July, and Nolan never returned. Our Skylar Henry has the story.
The family of 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells is demanding answers. Wells, a college football player at Southwest Mississippi Community College, was last seen on the 4th of July, where he and friends hung out on Mississippi's Horn Island. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office says he was last seen around 3 p.m. on Saturday and didn't return to the mainland with the rest of the group. Authorities say his phone and keys were found on that boat. Wells's mother, Christine Wansley, reported him missing that night. After a 2-day search, his body was recovered in the northwestern part of the island on Monday.
I think that a wave washed his body up onto the beach.
Brian Trasher is with the United Cajun Navy and helped with the search for Wells.
I wanted him to bring him back to his mother alive and well. I knew that the further we got away from the last time he was seen alive, the lower chances that would be.
The sheriff's office is calling this an active investigation. Wells's family has retained civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who, in a statement, called on investigators to pursue this case with urgency and transparency. Investigators are reviewing social media, searching for clues. Tracy Lampley coached Wells in high school and says he was beloved in the Mississippi community.
Just so overwhelming, a kid with so much life, man, said so much potential, in the blink of an eye, everything changed.
And the county coroner tells CBS News that it could be weeks before the medical examiner's full report is completed. Attorney Crump says that his team will not rest until every aspect in terms of what happened to Nolan comes to light. Tony?
We'll look out for more info. Skylar, thank you.
On the Nolan Xavier, I just found out about it. I've just been looking more into it. And, I'm going to bridge both sides. We shouldn't just jump to conclusions, of course, and say that those white boys, him. We should let the investigation play out. But what we shouldn't do is be okay with any of the local officials there saying, oh, it was just a teenage thing and he got lost. And that should not be okay. That was a star NFL player. That boy was not a criminal. And those friends need to be held accountable. Either they need to be the prime suspects for investigation to what happened to him. Just like if it was a white boy and the situation was reversed, there will be people asking what happened on that island. We need to know what happened, right? We need to know why this kid came up missing. And his friends are saying they don't know what happened. They have his phone, right? They have the boy's phone. First of all, what teenager gives away his cell phone? Why would you, if I'm going away with friends, we supposed to all have each other's back, right? Like if I go out with you and we're all friends, I expect you, if we're drinking or something, I don't drink, but if I was that age and I was drinking, I would expect us to have each other's back, right? So that's what I would expect from this situation with Nolan Xavier. The friend should have had his back. So we need to know what happened, because what is not going to satisfy and is going to cause a racial blow up is if this is swept under the rug as just an incident between teenagers and this boy's life, and there's no consequences, there's nobody arrested, there's nobody, there's nothing that comes out of that, right? Because the Carmelo Anthony and the Austin Metcalf, it's just not going to look good. Right, so there needs to be something figured out. There needs to be accountability for these kids. I don't care who their parents are. I don't care how many of them is it. I don't care, because if it was the other way around, we would want justice.
He was in college. I think he was 18 years old, if I'm not mistaken, in college, playing for a local community college down in Mississippi. We don't even have the autopsy yet, so we don't know, what happened. What I do know is that, when young people go to these types of events, there's normally alcohol. There's probably, some illicit activity happening and going on. And typically, boats, water, drugs, and alcohol, it's not a good mix. It's just not a good mix. It's unfortunate. I'm perturbed that Ben Crump's involved because we know Ben Crump's a grifter, and I'm perturbed that he's involved without all the information yet. There's still an investigation happening, and I could see him being involved if an investigation had already been done, they swept it up under the rug, and we don't have any details. I'd understand saying, maybe we should get a lawyer involved to, do some additional digging and research. But this just happened recently. The autopsy from the state or from the county hasn't been completed yet. And I know they're talking about doing a third party autopsy, which I don't have an issue with that either. But let's let the information come out first before, we jump to conclusions about what happened, so forth and so on. Now, I am with Jordan when it comes to look out for your folks, but I don't like the fact that people are jumping to conclusions without actual details.
I think that it was good that you did address this early before everything got exposed, because this happens a lot. We have an event that happens and people start running off their mouth. Everybody's expressing their opinions, and nine or 10 times they're wrong because they weren't taking the time to wait until the information came out. So this is good. This, first of all, it shouldn't be a white-black thing. Like the Grifters they're gonna go that right automatically. But the bottom line is that this guy was out with some friends, and he came up gone, and his friends don't know nothing. There's something wrong with that. And whether they're purple, green, blue, I don't care what color they are.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that they should have been the one reporting that he was missing.
Mm-hmm.
He should have came. So there's a lot that automatically, before you hear anything, why are they so silent? And why are they saying, why is it being saying that they don't know anything about what happened? He was your friend. He was out there with you, and that was a known fact. So something's rotten in Denmark.
Biggest unanswered question so far about this case?
Obviously, the biggest question is what happened to Nolan Wells. I think the reason this case has caught such fire is because they see the pictures, they see the video, and they're saying, hold on, you're trying to tell us just accept this an accident and sweep it under the rug? His mother, Christine, his father, Elmo, say, no, they will not allow that to happen. His friends, his community. I mean, he was a good kid. He was beloved. He was a college athlete. He had everything going for him. And so to go on that island for 4th of July celebration and then not to come back is what is concerning everybody, especially when you hear the contradictions.
And you're conducting your own investigation. How will that differ from what the authorities are doing?
Well, one thing, we're trying to be very transparent because the family has some concerns about the state of Mississippi doing an investigation of the death of a young black man where young white students may be looked at as having some culpability. So the family is concerned about that. So we're going to have an independent autopsy. We have investigators talking to witnesses that have no alignment or no allegiance to the state. And that's important, Lindsay. When you think about Mississippi and the history of Mississippi, this is the state where Emmett Till was lynched.
We're now teaching our black kids that they should never be the only black person in a group of white people. It is 2026. Are we not teaching our kids that if they are the only black person in a group of white people, their life is in danger? Are we not teaching our kids that they don't have a friend in white people?
You would think that after Nolan Wells was pronounced unalive and his body was found, his friends would be putting out posts saying, rest in peace, oh my God, something. But no, everybody is dead silent. Every last person that was there has deleted their Instagram, their Facebook, their social media. Everybody's gone quiet, including the parents, okay, y'all? Including the parents, including a judge, okay, attached to one of those kids. Everybody's going media silent. It only raises questions about this video that was being circulated on the internet with Nolan on the beach with those friends, and there's an argument that breaks out, okay? Nolan is standing to the side, and there's a group of other kids looking at him.
Oh.
What was that argument about?
Wow.
Katie also spoke with someone saying that she did not get on the boat with Nolan. She got on a boat with someone else because her friends and family told her to get her ass on. Nolan was supposed to get on a boat with his friends. It never happened. She doesn't know what happened. I'm going to say this as honest as possible. If you're the only black person in the friend group, there is a problem because 9 times out of 10, you're going to be the victim. That's just it. Now, next up is the autopsy, and I hope they don't use anybody near that place. Use somebody else and make sure they black.
What do you mean if you're the only black friend amongst white people, you're in danger? How about no? How about let's go back and visit Shanquella Robinson? She was a black friend amongst her black
about it.
That was unalived and left in a hotel. That was a black girl with her black friend. So stop saying if you're the only black friend amongst white people, you're in danger. Y'all are so ignorant. It irritates me, the level of ignorance that y'all go to. Let's talk about Caleb Wilson. He was there amongst his fraternity brothers. And look what happened to him. These were black fraternity brothers that hazed him allegedly, and he was unalived. Black. Is it not so much black on black? What are y'all talking about? If you're amongst white people, you will die. Like, oh, stop the foolishness. The truth is, and I just had this conversation with Brother Wise. I was set up by friends, that people I thought were friends. That is the thing. It's not about black or white. And that's my concern with Ben Crump in the mix of this, because now we're starting to play these racial cards. Why don't you step back, shut your mouth, and let this process go through? If we start seeing anything that is, a little bit, what is going on? That don't seem right. Then we step up and say something. But if nothing has happened yet, and don't want to know why the parents have taken down their pages. You want to know why the kids haven't said anything? Probably because y'all rabid animals love to go and attack people. Look what happened to Jeff Metcalf and his family. Because y'all like to bring race into every situation. Let everything go through first. See what happens and then speak. And just for your FYI, the judge has said something. Y'all just don't know. The judge has said something because she doesn't want all of it. She's been friends with the boy's mother since the two mothers were in high school. They've known each other forever. So don't stop with the think pieces, because I've seen too many think pieces already about if you're the only black person amongst white people, then you need to be concerned. I'm sorry, if I'm a black person amongst these rabid animals that do teen takeovers, clearly I'm in danger. Okay.
So here's a cycle that we always see, especially online. Something happens with someone who is categorized as white and black, and we have limited information. I'm talking about your Carmelo Anthony. I'm talking about now an individual in Florida. And before they have a court case, before they have their day in court, before they have an opportunity to even get more evidence, everyone in the nation has already chosen their side, because we immediately go to race, like Crystal is talking about, something that is completely made up, by the way. Look into the history of it. If you are a Christian, stop fixating on what somebody looks at. Look at the fruit instead. Look at the spirit. And so then people will talk about this online. You can see on TikTok right now, they'll have arguments about it. You'll get hundreds of people in there. People will get so excited. You have individuals who are actually racist who will come out the woodworks, who will say that, oh, the black kid deserved it. It's all his fault. No, those people absolutely exist. Let's not be children about this. And you have people on the other side who, no matter what happened, he's innocent, he's an angel, he did nothing wrong. And what's unfortunate about this is those people don't actually care about the individuals involved. Again, go look online. Nobody cares about Carmelo Anthony. He's in prison right now, suffering probably. Prison's usually not the happiest place on earth. And nobody talking about him. Nobody care about him. Nobody's writing him. Nobody's gifting him. Nobody's continuing to have that charge for him. They're talking about Florida. This woman who shot the guy who was coming up to a parking space, and that's going to be the new hotness until it falls away. A court case will come up, we'll care for a little bit, and then it'll go away. And what's unfortunate about that is if you listen to this situation, oh, this thing stinks to high heaven. I think everybody would recognize that. None of the children came back and said anything about it. Couldn't be my child. Oh, no, we're going to the police station today to make sure you're not wrapped up in this situation. The child is gone. I don't care how your grades, how good of a child you were. If you were involved, let's have that one word, accountability, that we don't like. I don't care what his skin color is. I'm not going to go out here and tell everyone that, oh, if you're black, you have to be cautious being around a group of white people. I live in the state that has the least amount of black people up here. I've never felt safer in my entire life. I know that's an empirical story. It's anecdotal story just off of my own. Go look at the numbers and stop making up this narrative, or just admit you don't want to have a united country. But this in-between ridiculousness where no matter what happens, white people bad, we can't be around them. They owe us for something or another. We should have this liability and this freedom to do X, Y, and Z. But at the same time, you can't say that you love them. The kingdom of heaven is available to them. They are your nation, your countrymen inside of your nation. They are your fellow American. I don't hear that as well. And the worst part about it is racism, it does exist. This perpetuates it, unfortunately. Slide over on TikTok, you'll see what I'm talking about. For every chat room up there saying that Carmelo didn't do anything wrong or white people are evil, There's other chat rooms saying that we're tired of black people. We're tired of having them around. So I'm not going to say this is just one side's issue. I'm saying is, can we please grow up as a country? Can we please stop trying to find whatever way we can possibly use to twist factual reality, history, and scripture to align with the way we have been raised, the way we want to view the world, the way that it truthfully is? Can we please just lower ourselves a little bit like Christ himself did so we can uplift others? Because if not, this cycle is going to repeat itself. Go ahead, mark my words. It's going to be on the news. If it winds up becoming popular enough, people are going to talk about it. Everyone will have an opinion. Everyone's a lawyer. Everyone's a lawyer. Everyone knows the judicial process in the state, in the county, who's elected, who's the judge, what they have to go through. Is it first degree, second degree? Remember that mess for Carmelo? Everyone has an opinion, and I'll go ahead and tell you, you're just making it harder for justice to actually be served. You are tainting the culture, the information that could be out there, or that jury pool. And then when it doesn't go your way, you'll just complain. I think that we need to really take a step back on how we look at these cases. I think the news is partially to blame for a lot of this, and there needs to be some level of maturity. If you're not going to show up to that court case, sit down, stop talking about it. If you don't live in that area, if you don't know these individuals, stop talking about it. Wait for more information to come out, because innocent until proven guilty does not exist anymore in the United States of America, and that's very unfortunate.
For Nolan, Xavier Wells will be done by...
I'm Stacy Turner, and I'm the Chief Medical Examiner of the state of Mississippi.
But the problem with this chief medical examiner is that Dr. Stacy Turner may have mislabeled other black men's causes of death. So I was looking into Mississippi Free Press, and experts pointed out that say she labeled other causes of death as undetermined, despite evidence to the contrary. So in the summer of 2021, a body was delivered to the medical examiner's office, crime lab in Jackson, Mississippi, right? He died after a struggle with police. His face was swollen, he was bloodied, and he was bleeding from his neck. It was some witnesses that described seeing two deputies kneeling on him for more than 10 minutes. Yet, Ms. Turner here labeled the manner of death as undetermined, which that type of decision will call off any further investigations. And it said here that both of the officers returned to work. So, yeah. So I'm praying that they do get an independent autopsy done, just to be on the safe side.
It is the level of ignorance I'm talking about.
So the same thing that happened to Nolan Wells almost happened to me. I think I was like 22 years old working at Texas Roadhouse. Forgot a couple of the things that my granddaddy told me when I was growing up.
Your granddaddy was racist. I'm just letting you know.
Every year, the employees and managers, they would take this little, resort. And it wasn't really a resort. It was in the country. You know what I mean? Everybody was out there smoking. You know what I mean? And, I'm like, man, that sounds like a good time. And mind you, I could swim. Been swimming since, I don't know, maybe it was 4 years old when I jumped in the pool for the first time. At that point in time, I thought these people were my friends. Another lesson my grandparents taught me when I was younger is that you don't have any friends. It was good at first. It was, the water was kind of shallow. You know what I mean? We maybe had 6 or 7 canoes out there, music, people having a good time. They let us know, okay, so we're going to get up on the bank right here, and then we're going to go see the waterfall. Oh, okay, so but what we're going to do at the waterfall? Because I'm vibing, but at the same time, I'm not stupid. We just going to look at the, sit there, light a fire, smoke some more, drink some more. And I'm like, oh, okay. They tell us, okay, so this little piece of water right here, we got to swim across that to get to the waterfall. But so I'm the last person. Everybody, come on, let's go. So I jump in. I realize that I'm swimming rather hard and ain't moving nowhere. Long story short, nobody told me.
There it is. Nobody told me. Gotta blame somebody else. Let's keep going.
That there was a strong current at this spot and you needed to be prepared. At this point, I'm smoking and drinking. So I get halfway through the water and I realize that, and I'm losing my strength slowly but surely. And at this point in time, I am calling out for help. But you could clearly hear me out there in the woods. It's still daylight. So I am screaming that I can't make it. Somebody please help me.
I thought you said you could swim. You can't swim.
They turn around, several of them look at me, say, you can do it, come on, let's go. And they continue to walk off. At this point in time, I have already said my prayers and have already decided that I'm going to meet my maker. I scream one more time, I am going to drown, and I went down. I don't know who, can't remember who was and what just made them decide to change their mind and come back, but one person jumped in that water, grabbed me, pulled me up onto the bank, and mind you, they didn't do anything else after that and continued on their way.
What'd you want?
So I said all of this to say it is a lesson that the elders taught us as young black children. The same lesson that I'm sure you're telling all your children now. Do not be the only one.
So you mean to tell me you can't swim, then you decide to get in the water
while you're drinking
after getting drunk and high, and somehow it's the white man's fault. You should have the utmost respect for white people. This is the ignorance I'm talking about. You guys, it's like you're so traumatized and hurt, you don't even realize how much the white man actually wants to help you. You need to open your eyes and realize that not everybody's against you. All right, they could have let you drown. They didn't. Why? Because they care about you. And you're going to sit here and tell me and tell the rest of the world, don't be the only one. I wonder how he feels now after saying this. Y'all are some ungrateful people.
And the internet wasted no time. The side of the internet I refer to as the culture, before the body was even discovered, they had decided exactly what happened and exactly who was to blame. And as you can figure out what direction this story's going here, young Nolan Xavier is black. His friends are white. You see in this photo here, which was, I believe, taken over the weekend. And then this photo down here where he is the only black guy in the photo. The culture has decided that this is just like the movie Get Out, and that he was unalived by his friends for whatever reason, and it's 100% because of racism. Now, this is disgusting. It's disrespectful to the family of the young man that has passed away. It's disrespectful to his memory. These were his friends. Why don't we at least let authorities decide how he passed away? Now, I assume drowning, but they found him on the island. That doesn't mean that he didn't wash out, get washed back in. I don't want to speculate. It sounds like we're minimizing his life like that. But with the internet deciding that these young men are now all racist and unalivers, they've attempted to ruin their lives. They're trying to ruin their families' lives. They're trying to dox every one of them, trying to dox their families, calling them Klansmen, all this crazy shit. Before authorities have even announced the cause of death, they've decided to become judge, jury, and executioners. And I'm just standing up and saying, no, we're going to pump the damn brakes. You people have quite the track record of being wrong every time you do this. Let's just go back over the last month. You were wrong about Carmelo Anthony.
Yep.
You swore to us that was self-defense. Clay, he touched him. He told him, don't touch me or I'll do it. And he touched him. He was a bully, Clay. Don't you know that Austin Metcalf was a bully?
No proof of that.
Noted. Well, you were wrong about that. Judge and juror agreed you were wrong. And then up in Senatobia, Mississippi, young baby Cohen Wiley. His life tragically came to an end as the mother held him up as a human shield while her and her friend tried to run over a law enforcement officer after shoplifting at the Walmart there. And tragically, his life came to a senseless and tragic end as well, as the cop had to shoot, unfortunately. And y'all are going to be proven to be wrong about that. You're going to be proven to be wrong about this. Bless the family.
To me, it seemed like in the macro, there's a bigger agenda that's trying to keep all of the races in chaos against one another. You understand? Like, it's many different dynamics. So you got the so-called Black Americans going at the Africans, the Haitians, the Chinese, the going with the blacks, the white. So it's like we're seeing a bunch of different narratives being spun all at the same time and being like, it's like embers on a fire, right? And the masses are being tossed to and fro with the doctrine of men, of media, of the things, right? Because most people are emotionally triggered. You understand? A lot of people get emotionally invested instead of logically standing sound and trying to discern, like as you said, wait for the facts and stuff to come out and don't be tossed to and fro by doctrines of men. An unstable man is unstable in all his ways. You understand? And these are devices of the adversary. You understand? He is the author of confusion. So all of these different narratives will have all of the different people emotionally reacting. People who ain't even invested. That means you're going to have many millions and millions and millions of narratives going all at the same time, consistently, nonstop. That's called gluttony.
I think we can understand why they either suspended or decided to delete the social media because of what we're seeing transpire on TikTok. I think we can all understand, and I think most of us in this day and age would do it. We would do the same exact things. I mean, these are young people. There is an investigation that is happening. Allow the investigation to transpire and take place.
I respect that they shut it down because you have to protect your family. Just in case people don't realize what happened to the Metcalf family after the whole thing between Carmelo and Austin, that family was doxxed and swatted multiple times, not just one. Multiple times they were swatted. Their lives were in danger because of social media, because these people are not operating in sanity. They're operating in a reprobate mind.
That's right.
This is what they were out there. So this woman and her husband deciding to, again, take off their social media to protect their other children, that is what has to be done, because these people aren't thinking with their right mind. Let's go forward.
We have to resist this idea that being around white people makes us endangered. White people have to resist the idea that being around Black people makes us endangered.
That's right.
No,
That's right.
Being around people that have no discipline and self-restraint.
That's right, no matter what color they are.
And if that is your friend, you know their level of restraint because you've been with them before. Anytime, if there's drugs and water and alcohol, it's
normally not good.
Possible that, an honest accident that can take someone's life.
Or intentional.
The friends know something.
Yep.
I'm not even saying they know everything.
They gotta know somebody. Yeah.
The person the closest people to you are always the people who know something.
That is true. That is true.
I agree.
I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. Consider joining the ARP family or buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. In the Lord hit my chest, kicked death from my breath, put power in my step.